This
session
conference
today
will
is
now
being,
be recorded.
oops, this session today is being recorded from a Sutton Group office in Mississauga, and it'll be on the internet shortly. And if you're listening to this a year from now, it still applies going forward just as much as it did as the day that we were giving it. Anybody that's listening to it, if the sound is too loud, you should lower the sound, learn how to do it, and you should learn how to pause the video so that if the phone rings, and I'm sorry, we have to leave the window open for a little air right here. I know it's a little loud, but we'll try to make it work just the way it is. There's what everyone should do. Put the app on your phone, check it once a day. If you miss a listing coming out today or miss a want coming out today, you can be missing making money and not even realize it. But now you do realize it because you can be checking this from an industry of people. We've been going for 25 years, and there's thousands of people using the apps, the mobile websites. We have many, many tools on the internet, many different websites, but every single website does one thing exactly the same. Every single website. When you go to any website, any one of the websites, when you click on search, you will always have these four choices: commercial, business, residential, or FSBOs. Whether you go on the apps, whether you go on the mobile websites, we have 20 major websites, and they're all designed to trigger leads for every single one of you. We are hard at work, like a little Edison, or you know, when the telephone was first invented, there's Alexander Graham Bell. He was just busy working on stuff. We're doing that stuff for the real estate industry every day, every night, around the clock kind of thing. And when we do it, it's so easy to click on this. So I clicked on residential. People can just go ahead, and you can also search the wants here and see what the buyers are looking in Mississauga for a home, because I've got Mississauga. I'm going to choose it right here just for fun, and see the latest listings coming that people are looking to buy in Mississauga. These are all people who are looking to buy properties in the Mississauga area. Now, if you show this to your customers, it's going to show your customers how well connected you are in the real estate industry to buyers and sellers in the real estate industry. They're going to kind of like this when you can actually show them a list. And if you notice, the list does not show the contact names and numbers of the other brokers. All of this information can be on your website. That's part of the benefit of joining here. Our goal eventually, if you notice, I have a CIPS designation, which stands for Certified International Property Specialist. And we're eventually, in fact, we even went to Washington and the National Association of Realtors back in June with a view towards getting them to adopt this service so that all the brokers in the world can have everybody's listings on your own website. Wouldn't it be nice if people can search properties in Florida or any place in the world from your website? And then when people are interested in something, you do a referral. And when you do referrals to brokers in Florida, it's in US dollars, which is really kind of nice. And that can happen if you have the listings. And if I go back here and I go up to the top, you can see how you can search any continent in the world. If I search the USA and I come down here and I want to search Southeast, and just for fun, and I do a search for Florida or Carolina, it doesn't matter, then, oopsie daisy, I think what else did I choose here? Florida, Southeast. I'm going to just choose all of the haves and wants. I'm going to expand the time limit to search for listings and do a search to give a better flavor of what's going on here. And you'll see these are all in the Florida area. So that's how easy listings can be displayed worldwide. So my question to you would be, would you like your listings to be displayed on other brokers' websites internationally? And would you like other brokers internationally to have their listings displayed on your website? And what's exciting about that, I'll show you right now, it gets even better. If I was to go up here and click on, let's say, a Sutton Group member of ICIWorld, that happens to be his website right there. And it's not the design of the website that I'm talking about. It's the links that you can have on your website. And you'll see there's a link there that's called Industrial, Commercial, and Investment. These links that are on this website are actually supplied by ICIWorld. So if I was to click on Search Ontario Commercial, what's going to come up are the listings that are supplied by other members of ICIWorld that are being displayed, and you have to pretend that this is your website right now, because you can have this. It's one simple instruction. We do it in what we call an orientation 1-hour training program, which is conducted over the internet. So in other words, if you join today, you do not leave without making an appointment with us. And 10 minutes before your appointment time, you sit in front of your computer, and then we show you how to get this stuff all working. Within 60 minutes, you are good to go. Some people need 2 meetings. Go ahead.
What about the proliferation of that? Can you put it on, say, on Facebook or some other
You can
sites
put
out
links
there?
to your website on Facebook, but not the individual listings. The only agreement that we have so far with brokers that should be honored is that on every single listing, that's a good question, by the way, there's a question at the bottom of the listing. Will you allow your listings to be on other brokers' websites? Okay? So it's not for a broker to take that listing out and put it someplace. He can advertise the link on his website that I've got from commercial real estate on my, you can make a general statement of that, no problem. Put that on Facebook. And yeah, you should be doing it. You could be doing it, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, here's the big deal. If somebody wants a property in Mississauga, they can come down here and they can choose Mississauga, for instance, and do a search. And right away, bingo, all these listings come up. This is from a broker's point of view, it's the listings that trigger leads. Would you all agree or disagree? Okay, thank you. Now, let's pretend we're going to click on one of these, okay? And I'm going to try to click on this one here, and I cannot do it. Now, I have a question for you. If this is your website, and the person who visits your website cannot click on that listing, who do they have to call? If this is your website. Give me a high five. High five to everybody in the room. Okay, isn't that wonderful? This triggers leads. It's inevitable, absolutely inevitable for everyone to trigger leads from this kind of stuff, unless one thing, you don't have any traffic going to your website, or you have little or no traffic. Do you think we have a solution for that? Say yes. Yes, we do.
Where's the link though on
There's
that?
no link.
Okay, let me
The
ask you,
contact information.
I'm going to give you the answer to that right now, because that's a good question. If someone could click on that number, they would end up getting the other broker, right?
Okay.
And if they get the other broker and they call that other broker and that other broker goes to sell the house, does that other broker ever call you back to say thank you? No, right? So what we've done is we've blocked the ability for the people to click on that, so they only have one choice to call you if this is your website. Which do you prefer?
Well, they find it on my website.
Right,
That's why they call me. Okay, understand.
now you understand. Those are important questions to ask now, people. This is a lifelong service for you for the rest of your lives. If you're too busy and you got to leave and you miss out on it, you can be missed. I've had brokers that saw this stuff 4 years ago and they kicked themselves that they didn't start 4 years ago because they just missed all those opportunities, and you would never know what you're missing. Now, you're a residential broker and somebody comes here and let's say they click on apartment buildings. First of all, would you like to have over 200 apartment buildings on your website? Who would like that? Okay. Now, let's say somebody is just interested in a little one for maybe $1 or $2 million or so. Here's a 5-unit building in Toronto. And there it is right there. You're a residential salesperson and somebody calls you up and says, I'm interested in message number 368479. Can you help me? What are you going to say?
No.
You're going to say no?
No.
He's joking. You're going to say, yes, I can help you.
Yeah.
I will have someone call you back. And then you can get a hold of the broker who's got that listing. And you could say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Now, commission on that one, if it was 4%, might be $64,000, split in half, 32 for you, 32 for the other broker, but you would only get 25% of the $32,000, which is how much? 8,000, he's sharp. $8,000 for doing a 5-minute referral. People, we have brokers that have done 15 referrals here. Ted Davis, Remax out of Peterborough, he's one of them that comes to mind. He's done 15 referrals. He's made a total of $45,000 for 75 minutes of work. Question at the back.
Is there any pre-qualifying? So is it like you're just putting a name to?
You look after that referral the best way you know how. Get as much information as you can, and then you put your referral agreements in place. Sutton Group, you talk to your broker record, your manager, whoever is looking after to help you do referrals. And I would start carrying referral forms in all your briefcases. Keep them handy and mark it in. Phone number, name, referring broker, receiving broker, date, time, place, all that stuff. You do your regular referrals as you normally would. Okay? You tell me, isn't that exciting?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm trying to, since I got into the CIPS program, I've been trying to go worldwide and get all the brokers in the world to put their listings on here, because people can search listings in the Caribbean. They can search listings in Florida, any place at all, vice versa. People in Europe, they're already looking at Canada. So that's the kind of thing. Now, what else is on there? Well, there's the world commercial, but there's business opportunities.
It's not shown.
I don't know what happened, why that's
I
going.
think pulled up. Maybe because Windows stuff.
Well, share my screen. Oh, let me try that again.
There you go.
Okay, got it. Thank you for bringing that up. Now, under commercial, you'll see there's business haves and wants. Again, for a residential salesperson, you would think, how's that going to make me money? Well, a doctor, when you go to your doctor, he's a general practitioner doctor. Why that's not showing, I don't know. Let me pull out the plug here and stick it back in and see if that makes a difference.
Something.
Okay, let's see if that works for a while. But you'll see restaurants, for instance, we used that example earlier, if you know that there's restaurants, but you're going to have restaurants, hotels, motels, gas stations. So if you're talking to a lawyer, you could say, listen, are any of your clients looking to buy any kind of real estate in the next 1 to 5 years? So whenever you go to pick up your commission checks at the lawyer, just ask him a question. And next thing you know, he might say, well, yeah, we've got a buyer for this, or we've got somebody trying to sell this. Well, you can match it up on here and end up doing referrals. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's go back here and continue on. Now, when I do these seminars, you'll notice that I have handed out the PowerPoint presentation. You can take any notes that you want and put them right on this PowerPoint. You don't have to write down what's on the screen because it's already in your PowerPoint presentation. We don't want you to be worried. Can you get one from there? I'm going to use mine. Give them an extra PowerPoint, please, Doris. Now, I'm going to go to the second page here. Let's just... Now, there are over 3.7 billion people on the internet using the internet. And through ICIWorld.com, you'll notice that we are a society of real estate brokers and salespeople. We only allow licensed real estate brokers and salespeople to join the service. And we're supplying this service to serve the public. The public will see more opportunities to buy and sell real estate if they can see a lot of the exclusive information all in one place in your whole community. So all the FSBOs in the area, all the people that might want to sell their properties privately or confidentially, a lot of the businesses, they don't want to put their listings on MLS because it could be bad for business. All of that kind of information can be worked through here. Now, we work exclusive listings, but we also, you can advertise your regular MLS listings as well on here. And we do it on computers and mobile devices. And we reach people literally from 138 countries of the world. There's the standard, how much it costs to join the service. And we have people that are joining online, and that's how much it is, unlimited advertising. And you get the links for your website. And then you can be working the app. We suggest you check the app when you have your morning coffee. Just click on 1 second to open up the app, 1 second to click on residential or commercial, and 1 second to click on search database to see what the latest buyers and sellers that are looking. And you might be able to make an appointment right then and there, go show it, and make $10,000. It can happen that fast, and we've got stories of them doing it. It can also be free because we now have this new corporate card up there. That's the new corporate card. Has anybody ever been to Realtor Quest here? How many people have been to Realtor Quest? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we recommend that everyone go to Toronto Real Estate Board Realtor Quest every year. It's the largest trade show in the world. Nowhere can you see more products and services in one day as you can going to that show. I would drink a smoothie in the morning, a really good one. Put your running shoes on, be really comfortable, get a shopping bag, and be ready to go from booth to booth. There's over 200 of them. And everyone is there to help you either save time or money, every single one. It's at the end of May each year. And guess what? Who's a member of the Toronto Real Estate Board? How many people here? All of you? It's free. Anybody that's not a member has to pay $25. You have to be a licensed realtor. But if they're not a member of TREB, they got to pay $25. And it's $50 for 2 days. And it's free for you guys. You get a free lunch out of it. Everybody else. What's that?
Lunch.
And lunch and breakfast. Yeah. Now, ICIWorld has a booth at that show. It's one of the busiest booths at the whole show. Like if you want to talk to me there, stand in line. There's like always people kind of gathered around. But I want you to come over and say hello. Make sure. And one of the reasons why we're so busy is because we make a statement that you could have a $30,000 website and it's not as powerful as the websites that we supply for $16.50 a month websites. They're free for 1 month. If you look on your, where's the application form? The third bullet on the right, what does it say? The third bullet on the right. Websites are free for 1 month. And then?
$199 per year.
$199 per year with a credit card. Divide that by 12, it's $16.50. Or you can do it for $19 a month to start if you wanted to and switch later. We totally set up the website. We are official installers of the Toronto Real Estate Board IDX link, which allows you to search MLS listings from your website. And I think I got an example here coming up. Let me see if I can do this one here. There's one website, there's another one, and there's another one. Oopsie daisy, hang on 1 second. Let me just stop that. Let me go back here. Where the heck is it here? Okay, let me, that's not one of them. I want to get one of the websites that we made here. Okay, this is one of the websites. It happens to be in Collingwood, but it's the same thing. Okay, nice clean looking website. It's got the social media on it. Haves and wants. These are his exclusive listings. When I click on that, these are the exclusive listings of Bob Muir that comes up on the page. And for some reason that's not working. Don't know why. Let me try the Ontario one. Uh-oh, I think I know what's happened. Okay, I'm gonna introduce and start talking about it now. We've had people that have been members of ICIWorld who have not made money. And we have a special pledge. And the pledge is that every single person in this room should make money with ICIWorld. Every either 90 days, you should either be making money or at the very least triggering leads to do deals. I have a question for you. If you have a flat tire in your car, do you abandon the car? No, you get the tire fixed. Some people have abandoned ICIWorld and said it didn't make me any money. This is a good example right now. I clicked on Haves and Wants, Ontario Residential. It came up for the other websites, but it's not coming up on his website. What's wrong? You'll notice that up here, there's a letter S on the HTTPS up there. That's called an SSL certificate that makes your website more secure. Now, let's do a quick understanding of what's going on here. This simple thing can be the difference of you making money and not making money. Realtors do not need an SSL certificate because you're not taking money every single day with a credit card for anything. You don't trade money on your website. However, when people go to Google and see your website, it says not secure up by your website address. And if somebody new comes to your website and they see that, that's not a good feeling to have them see not secure for your website. Do you all agree or disagree? So therefore, you talk to your service provider and you say, oh, all I have to do is get an SSL certificate. So you go ahead and you get the SSL certificate, and now you have to type in HTTPS www. Whatever your website address is. And guess what? The Toronto Real Estate Board links don't work. The ICIWorld real estate links don't work. Why? Because they have to be changed. So you have to go into the website, do the programming, bring it up to date, and put the HTTPS there. He has not done that. Bob is a good friend of mine. He's been a longtime member, and even he has made that mistake. So we say, if you're not making money every 90 days, give us a call. Let us look over your membership. There could be something wrong with your website. Could be something wrong with your listings. Another thing, we've got people who have been members for a long time, and their listings are older than 90 days old. If they are, they're not showing up on the app. When you first do a search, all those listings that every one of you were looking at were all less than 90 days old. So if you're a member and you have listings that are over 90 days old, they're not getting displayed. There's now a responsibility on the part of the whole industry, not just here, but on the whole industry, to keep your information up to date, current, live. All you have to do is once a month or once every 60 days, just go log in, modify your listings, click on modify. That's it. Your listing comes back to the top of the database where all the readership is. And secondly, it gets emailed out to the industry. We have 20,000 emails going out a day to the public. But if you don't modify your listing goes down, down, down in the database, and it's way down there, and you wonder why you're not getting any calls. That could be the reason. And we're constantly teaching, but gradually we're teaching everybody to do it. Usually it comes up to renewal. We go over the membership. It's a 1-hour consultation once a year. We suggest you all have it. You have oil changes for your car, it's the same thing. You don't do an oil change, you can drive your engine into the ground. So the same thing is true. You got to have like little checkups on your website. Everyone here should be checking their own website once a month to make sure that everything is working on it. Okay, I have a special handout that I think you've got someplace, and the handout gives you 50 sample websites that you can go and see on your own time. Can you bring up this picture here? This one here, everyone. This is Doris's website. She's one of our instructors who happen to use her website. At the top left corner, you'll see dorisperino.com. But I'm going to click on another one here. I'm going to click on Mary Coughlin. This is a sample of a $16.50 website. Okay, it's clean, straightforward. Now, up here there's residential, up here there's commercial. If I go down to residential and I click on search MLS, this is what comes up. And you'll notice she's got this HTTPS. At one time, actually for 2 years, the TREB IDX link was not working. It was not working. Not for the HTTPS. You had to leave it without the HTTPS. But guess what? You couldn't go backwards. You had to design a whole new website without it and wait until they got it. They got it in January. I was one of the testers to make sure that it worked. So those are little issues that come up. Now, on Doris's website, you'll see that there's a link up there at the top left corner, 50.iciworld.com. And you're going to have 50 sample websites that you can go and check how these links are looking and working wonderfully on members' websites. Now, we put buttons on depending on where you work. If you're working in Mississauga, Brampton, Caledon, we'll make a special button that has Mississauga, Brampton, Caledon listings coming up. And up comes these listings. Isn't that wonderful? And then if somebody is interested in one of these listings, what they can do is you end up clicking on one. Somebody might click on one. And when they do, up comes the listings from other brokers who have agreed to allow their listings to be on your website. I call this the ultimate in marketing in the world, when people from Europe, Asia, all over the world can see these listings. Your name, your phone number is going to be here on the right-hand side.
So no other brokerage information?
When you first get the website, it shows it, but I have a way of hiding the address, but not the other broker's information, because you're right. If you go down to the bottom, you still have that broker, because that's a requirement of MLS to show that. Good question. So now you come up here and you go down to, let's say, residential haves and wants. Anybody recognize that? That's coming from ICIWorld. And if I choose Canada, if I choose Ontario, and then choose Greater Toronto, and if somebody searches that, and maybe they might search by price is what we always recommend. People can go right to their price range right away, whatever price range they're in, and they can pick the price range that they're interested in. And maybe they're interested in this one, coming for sale. You can't do this on the Toronto Real Estate Board unless you have a signed listing. This gives you opportunities to trigger leads that you do not have right now. So somebody tries to click on that link and they can't click on it. They're on your website and they call you up and say, I'm interested in message 381828. Can you help me? What are you going to say?
Of course.
Of course. Let me get the information. I'll get right back to you.
Just tell me what the site says and then they can call you right back.
That's right.
What's your phone number?
And then you can make an appointment to go show that property.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's lead generation of the first degree. It's our information. I say our as the real estate industry because I'm a broker too. It's our information that's triggering leads for each other. We don't have to buy it from other companies. I know there's an issue about that. Some people agree with that, buying from other companies, and some people don't like it. How do you all feel about buying leads from other companies? Anybody here like it? Anybody here don't like it? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay, so some of the thinking is still out undecided. We kind of think that we've got MLS. Why should we have to buy it from other people? Question.
Yeah, I got a question regarding your website.
Yes, sir.
Back office?
That's right.
Is there a back office for you?
Yes, there is. Yeah, and we actually teach you how to go in and change it. We can actually set up the website within one. Oh, by the way, to join ICIWorld is a 1-hour appointment to get started over the internet, where it's just one-on-one with each one of you for that 1 hour, and you're good to go. But if you want a website, it's a separate 1 hour to get that going. It's a one-time setup, and you're done. Now, if you want further follow-up, you're always welcome to make appointments. How do you make appointments? Let me just show you that right now in case I forget later.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
So if you already have a website set up, can you embed those links into into your website?
That's a big yes.
Okay.
And we actually work with 32 website companies. There's about 32 website companies in the Greater Toronto area. There's Web4 Realty, and you name it. They're all out there. We work with them all, and they all know us. Because when you join, one of the first things we do in the appointment is we send you the instructions, and we get you to forward the instructions to your website company.
Mm-hmm.
When you do that, here's another reason some people didn't make money. We ask that you have a follow-up appointment about 2 weeks after they're installed. And the reason for that is we've had people that had the links installed and they were not installed correctly for the whole year. And they wonder why they were missing generating leads. So now, the same way that you have a doctor's appointment and you have an operation 2 weeks after, he would like a follow-up appointment to make sure everything's okay. We're suggesting you must do that too. Okay, so all you have to do is make an appointment with us to follow up.
Thank you.
When you go to this main website or many of our website, ICIWorld.com, you'll see up at the top, it says here, make an appointment. Can you see that?
Yep.
This is going to sound funny when I'm about to say, but I'm actually going to ask you not to call us on the telephone. And you'll say, why? You want business, don't you? Yeah, we do. But I am the manager of the ICIWorld Society of Real Estate Brokers and Salespeople. If I had 1,000 brokers calling in on one day, I'd have to hire 4 people to work, 5 people, that'd be $200,000 a year. And guess who would pay for it? It would have to be you guys. Instead, we simply say, listen, rather than playing telephone tag, interfering when I may be helping somebody else, just go up there and make an appointment. It's easy. And that way, and if you have to change the appointment at the last minute, no problem. How you make the appointment, you click on make an appointment right there, and then another screen comes up and you'll see 60 minutes on the internet. You click on that, a calendar comes up, and you might even want this calendar for some of yourselves too to make appointments. Anyways, you can click on, say, Wednesday, which is tomorrow, and you'll see I've got 4 times available tomorrow. That's it. We start at 6 a.m. daily and go to 5 every day, 5 days a week. So tomorrow, are there any early birds in the crowd here? Who's a 6, 7, or 8 a.m. person? Anybody?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, I would do it.
No.
Oh. You got to watch when you challenge me for some
No,
things.
I would probably be fine.
Okay, but are there any early birds like 6, 7, or 8 a.m. in the morning here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got, okay, so you could have an appointment, cup of coffee, right? You get your cup of coffee, sit in front of your computer, and the two of us will have a little bit of fun on the computer getting things going for you. All right, so that's how that works. And then you just click on the time, click on confirm, you put in your email address and put in your phone number down here. You'll even get a text message reminding, and you can change the appointment at the last minute. So here's 50 sample websites. Here's another website of somebody else. This could look like your website. It could be an Incom website. It can be, we're an official distributor of the Incom websites. We have a special deal with them. Yes, sir?
What about paperless agent in the US? You
The
know
which?
about them? Paperless agent.
Yes.
Is that part of your team as well?
I don't know anything about them,
You don't?
No. but I'm happy to talk about it later and help analyze it. I like checking out all these other things.
Okay.
Okay. I even have something special about if you want to use Google. I'm going to give you $100. Who would like $100 towards advertising on Google pay-per-click right now? Anybody want $100? Okay, watch this. I'm going to go to, let me go back here. I'm going to open up a new window. Hang on. Let me just move this guy out of the way. There it is right there. Hang on. Okay. You can mark this down, ICIWorld.com/ or just seminar. ICIWorld.com. You should mark this down. $100 towards advertising, free. I'm giving you $100 right now. Toward, but you got to pay it. You got to spend it with Google. But it's free. Okay. You click on seminar, and you'll notice that there's 4 recorded webinars. 4 of them. There they are, number 1, 2, 3, 4. They're very similar to what we're doing today, but today for my own interest's sake, I do not follow the PowerPoint presentation word for word. I don't do that. I'm doing it differently how I feel with the group. But I use the PowerPoint towards the end to go over it to make sure that I covered every point. Everything is in here, but I'll go through it a little bit later. But on this form, or on this page, you'll see that the first one, you just click on the word play. You click on the word play, you click on the word play. And then this one here, how to promote your website. If I was to click on the word play, this is how to promote your website. In my opinion, this is where everyone should be spending some time promoting your website. Your website is your office building on the internet. Okay, how to promote your website. It's real estate websites that we're talking about, both residential and commercial. It includes search engine optimization and more, and also how to get to the top of Google literally within 48 hours if you want to. And today's session. Did you hear that? What did I say? What did I say?
Get up on top.
How much?
$100, right?
You get $100. Yeah, I was remembering that, but I just said something there. Who said 48 hours? Within 48 hours, would you like to have your website at the top of the search engine for Mississauga real estate? Homes in Mississauga real estate for sale? Would you like to be at the top so that your website comes up?
Yeah.
That's going to teach you how to do it. How did we do that? Well, when all this search engine stuff and meta tags and keywords and everybody started throwing all these words around, I'm a real estate broker, the same as all the rest of you. I didn't know what the heck all this stuff was. So I said, I got this service Why should you have to spend $4,000 to go to Las Vegas to the World Search Engine Optimization Convention? That's how much it costs.
That's right.
Why should you have to spend? Why should each and every one of you have to go down there and spend all the time and try to learn all this technological stuff? I figured I'm gonna go do it for you guys, okay? And I did it. And I put everything in that movie there. That's really $4,000 to produce that movie, believe it or not. It's free for you to listen to. Why do we do it free? Well, when you see the things that are going on there, you might want to be part of our service to get those listings on your website. I'll give you an example, one thing we learned. Let's say that your website and your website, these two gentlemen have exactly the same website. Pretend they're exactly the same. But if you register your domain name for 10 years, and he only registers it for 1 year,
Yeah.
what do you think Google's going to give a higher ranking to? The 10-year one. That's just one little thing I learned.
Yeah.
And Google has what they call algorithms. I always have to get that right. Algorithms are mathematical calculations on your website. They got millions of websites. Who's going to come up first? So they go in and they check your website and they start to analyze. And they say, aha, yours is not mobilized. They're going to give it to everybody else because they're all mobilized, but yours is not.
Keywords everywhere though?
Keywords is one part of it.
Oh, very wonderful.
It's one part of it. Everybody's for Mississauga real estate using Mississauga real estate. You have 10,000 people using Mississauga real estate. Where's the advantage? So they have to analyze other things in your website. Length of domain name, all kinds of different things. So that's part of it, and it's good that you're thinking that way because you now can be sharp enough to say, what can I do that'll help me get up there? It's hard to get up to the top in a natural fashion today because you're all at the bottom of the yellow pages in the phone book at the moment. You kind of got to get doing this a lot earlier. However, you can start coming up, and I have something else for you to learn that will get you triggering leads from your website. How many people in this room want to trigger more leads from their website? Okay? It's called mobile websites. And we're going to teach you how to put a mobile website on your phone and on your customers' phones. Would it be nice if you could get all your customers to put your mobile website on their phone? I don't know if you heard what I said.
Yeah.
Pretend that this is your website, okay? Would it be nice if all your customers had your mobile website on their phone?
Amazing.
And whenever they think of real estate, they think of you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask everybody, how big is your personal database of people in your sphere of influence? Maybe how many people went to the last wedding you went to? Just name how many people attended weddings. How big was the wedding you went to, the last one?
At my age, I don't know exactly.
I'm not talking about your own wedding, although it could be.
No, I said I don't. At my age, I recently go to a lot of funerals and weddings.
Oh. Just name me some figures. How many people?
200, 300.
200, 300.
150.
150. How many at the last wedding you were at?
250.
250? Okay. What if every single one of those people that were at that wedding, you were able to make friends with, or their family, were to put your mobile website on their mobile phone? And whenever they think of real estate, they go to the website, and then maybe they click on search, and up comes the search. And then maybe they might click on exclusive, but they might just click on find residential. And then maybe they could search power sales, pre-construction condos, all kinds of good stuff here. And I'm just going to use ICIWorld one more time for the world residential. And then maybe they will search and find this on they see how well connected you are, first of all all the buyers and sellers you've got. And then maybe they're interested in that one right there coming for sale, Mississauga 2-story home. And they can't click on it. Who do they have to call? Bingo, they have to call you. Isn't that wonderful? So in other words, this is another way to promote your website, is to make it a marketing plan to add this mobile website to your customers' phones. Now, there's a difference between an app and a shortcut. If I want to add this mobile website to my phone, this is an Android, what do I have to click on? Does anybody in this room know? Okay, get ready. Everyone, in my opinion, needs to learn this if you want your mobile website on the phones of your customers.
Click it on
At
the
the-
signature series.
At the top right-hand corner, there's 3 little dots on an, I'm gonna do an Android first.
Yeah.
Up here, excuse me, you see those 3 little dots up there? Okay, can everybody, I'm gonna do this. Can everybody pull up ILS.realestate? Go ILS dot on their phone. Everybody do this now, on their phone. Pull up ILS.realestate. Everybody, there it is there. Everybody should have this card in front of them. Has everybody got it? Right there? Okay?
Yeah.
ILS.realestate, and that's what you should have on the phone. Can everybody show me their phones once you get it? Good show. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. We got 14 people here, so I can get up to 8 or 9. Somebody having trouble? Maybe Doris?
Typing error.
ILS.realestate. Now, I'm going to use this. I don't know why that keeps going off.
This one?
Oh, there, it's back on. Okay.
Good.
Now, for who's got an Android? Okay, all the people with Androids, you have 3 little dots at the top right-hand corner. Can everyone click on those 3 little dots, and you'll
Sure.
see on the screen what comes up here.
It's sure.
One of them says add to home screen. Add to home screen.
There's an iPhone too.
No. That's the division.
Now, I'm not going to go through every single person here because it might take too long, and I will help you after the session today. But if you can talk to your customers, bring up your website on their phone, get them to click on those 3 little dots and click on add to home screen, and up comes another page, another little thing here that says add to home screen. I'm going to click on that add, and there's one more time you got to click on add again down here. And I'm going to click on add. Bingo. Now, here's the problem.
I have other
Click on add again.
What do you do for an iPhone though?
I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, I'm coming to iPhones in a moment. And so now I have added it to the home screen, but I don't know where it is. So when I go back to my main screen, and if I went back to my very main screen, it's not there because it got added to the last screen on my phone, which is way down at the very end on the last screen. That's where it is. Now watch this. I'm going to move it to the front. I'm going to hold my finger down, and I'm going to slide it over till I'm half off the edge and half on the edge, and then I'm going to bring it back and let go, and bingo, it's on my main screen now.
Might actually add it to the red.
Now, if you can't do it, people, after the session is over, you come up and I'll show you how to do it one-on-one, okay? Where else can you get help? You can get help from wherever you got your phone. Bell, Rogers, will tell us, whoever you got your phone. They have little booths at the mall. and they can show you how to do this stuff. But if you stay here afterwards, we'll go through, Doris and I, and help each and every one of you how to do these little stupid things that if you know how to do them, it can help make you money. Then whenever your customer is thinking of real estate, they just kind of click on your website, bingo, like one click and it pops on the screen. And then they should be able to do a search the same as I'm doing here. And if it's commercial, they can click on that and click on search. Literally 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds to bring this up on the screen. Once you know how, like riding a bicycle, first time you got up, you didn't do it right away. Had to do it a couple more times. So it takes maybe sometimes up to a week to really kind of learn to do it good. Now, let's talk about the iPhones. Who's got an iPhone here? Can you give me an iPhone? Okay, I'm going to use the iPhone. At the very, who's got an iPhone? I need all your hands. Oh, good. Okay, down at the bottom, do you see that little up arrow down there?
Yeah.
Okay, at the bottom, do you see the little up arrow? Anybody at the bottom? I need your iPhones up. Just show me. You're right. Oh, they're not doing it.
Press on that.
Okay, sorry people, if you show me your phone, it's a little button down at the bottom. In your case, do you see the little button at the bottom? Go ahead, you do it. Now, once you click on it, click on that little, that's it. Now stop. Move this over until you see a plus sign right there.
Okay.
Do you see the, okay, go back a little slowly, right there, plus sign.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see the plus sign?
Click it again.
Oh, that might be a little,
Then you have to move it like you did before.
okay. Anyways, we can help you do it. Did you do it? Or your iPhone or Android? Okay. Okay. Well, let me just cancel that for a second. Okay, click on the up arrow. Okay, now it should be a little plus. Okay, on this one here's a little change. Yeah, try add to home screen. See if we can put it over. It's a little bit different on some of the newer phones. How about you? You got it? Okay.
That's one option.
Anyways, what's important today, by the way, people, it's not exactly doing it. It's understanding. One thing I know about real estate people, we get determined when we want to know something and we don't let go until we find out. The most important thing today are the concepts that I'm talking about. The actual doing, we can help with that later. That's simple. But if you don't even know the concept, you don't even want to do it. Question, go ahead. Somebody had a question.
No, I just want to know if, what if the individual doesn't want to add it to the,
You got a good point. I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you so much. Can you maybe do the seminar with me? I would really like that. Anyways, the question is this. There's going to be some people who are going to say, I know you. Don't worry. I'll put the app on my phone when I want to do it. I don't want to put it on now because my phone, it goes dead by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't want to put another app on my phone. What do you say? You tell them it's not an app. It's a shortcut. An app uses a tiny bit of resources. So are there people here that are cutting down on their apps? How many people here cut down on their apps? Because they're using resources and make your battery go dead. And if you don't use the darn thing, why even have it? However, a shortcut uses zero resources. Okay? And you tell those people that, put it on a back page, keep it on your phone. And tell them you won't buy them a drink if you don't put it on. Okay? The beauty of that, all your 100, 200, 300 people in your sphere of influence, in fact, what we don't think about is they have friends. They've got an influence of people. And when they're helping their friends, their friend asks them their advice for real estate, they can pull out the app and then they search your website. You've got MLS, you've got residential, you've got commercial, you've got it all over the GTA. And now you have exclusive that other brokers don't have. And they'll want to keep your shortcut on their phone because you have exclusive. Their other friends in real estate don't have it. So that's another thing too. Okay, let's switch back and come back here and continue on. We'll help you too. After the session is over, I stay for up to another 2 hours until everyone's sort of looked after if you have questions after this particular session as well. Okay, this is at the Toronto Real Estate Board.
All right, here's an example. This just happens to be a Samsung phone, but it works for Apple iPhones and Androids and works for Blackberries, what I'm about to show you. What you want to do is open up the internet on your computer, and you go up to the very top, and you type in www.ICI.
This was one of our very first mobile websites. Still working solid. 1 second, bingo, it opens up.
Which is short for Mobi. Now you notice I had a spelling mistake, so I've got to fix that and change that to the letter O. And I really made mistakes here, so that's normal. That happens to a lot of us older fellas. Okay, so we're going to type in ICIWorld.mobi and bingo. We're going to bring that up on the screen, and by just tapping that twice, it fills up the screen nicely. Now, on different phones, it's different. On an Android, there's 3 little dots that you'll see right up here at the top right-hand side.
Okay, so there, I'm just going to go back here. On the very front page, you'll see a little square right here. That shows you how to make a shortcut right there. If I clicked on it, that's the same video that you were just watching. It's right on the front page at ICIWorld.com. Okay? And so where to get that is right on the front page. Let's continue on. Now, a lot of the stuff that we do, it's a one-time setup, and a lot of things work absolutely automatically. In other words, the listings update themselves automatically every single day. This is what makes this service free. You join and it becomes free. It's called an ICIWorld corporate card. And where is my briefcase? Oh, yes, right here. And these corporate cards, it's fantastic. I'm getting people that have saved money left, right, and center here with this corporate card. So everyone now gets a corporate card that joins ICIWorld that if you use it, you can save more than the $240 membership on ICIWorld. You can save, I've got one person, he saved $220 US on a car, renting a car in San Francisco. Another one saved $200 buying a Lenovo laptop computer. Doris, I think you saved $80 on Cineplex tickets that are normally $180. You get 10 for $100 or something like that. I saved some money going to that hotel in Washington, $135. And so there's 250, pardon me?
Trump Hotel?
You know, I think that Trump Hotel, the prices of his rooms used to be like $1,000 a night, dropped to $700 a night in Washington. I mean, he's losing a lot of business, isn't he? You know, so he's going through a lot, paying the price for doing what he's doing. Anyways, you get one of these corporate cards. If you end up joining today, you get one of these. It's 250 vendors in the greater CNE, Canada's Wonderland, all kinds of things. Swiss Chalet on Dufferin Street, all kinds of.
On Dufferin Street.
Yeah, the one on Dufferin, yeah. They're just different discounts all over the place. Okay, let's move on. Now, if I skip through these and you have a question, I can always back up, but we've covered a lot of this stuff already. There's another way that you can have the membership free. If you refer someone to the service, your membership in a year and a half is reduced from $319 to $240. If you get more people to join, we add 3 months onto your membership for each one, which means if you got 4 more people to join, you actually get an extra year free. And you should be triggering leads off your website to make money. And if you make, $10, $12, $15,000 off of that, that helps pay for it. And then, of course, the sales in real estate. Interesting thing here to get you all excited. Last year on the Toronto Real Estate Board, the largest sale was $28 million. We've done 2 deals over $50 million on this service. We've actually outsold the Toronto Real Estate Board highest price sale. And it was done by independent brokers just like yourselves. And 2 of the deals had ladies involved. So the ladies can be doing this too. If you have the contact for somebody to buy and there's another member has a contact for something to sell. The interesting thing was there were 14 offers on one of them. All the major commercial brokers in Toronto had offers on it, Colliers, the commercial people, all these people. And it turns out that it was the brokers on ICIWorld that ended up selling that property. And that is just wonderful. I just love hearing stories. So if anybody does join today, the very first deal you ever do, call me. I want to be the first ones to congratulate you for doing your deal. It's a thrill for me to always hear this kind of stuff. And you'll see, here's a property, Bruce Cook on the left-hand side. He's now retired as of a couple of years ago. He got a buyer from overseas. He couldn't get anybody from Toronto to show his properties. He's in Belleville. Couldn't get anybody to show it. He got a buyer from offshore. And you know how they bought it? He sent them an AACI appraisal. It was about that thick. The people knew all about the property. They made the offer to buy the property conditional for 30 days on due diligence. Once the offer got accepted, they flew over here. Bruce picked them up at the airport and drove them to Belleville, and they showed them the property. They stayed for a week, and they bought 2 more properties off them besides that one. So there's lots of money that's all around the world, and Canada is a safe haven for money. Sometimes people, it's not the return that's important. What is it?
Parking the money.
Parking the money in a secure place is important. So they'll take a 4% cap rate where maybe somebody else wants more. But if you put it in the bank, what's the best rate you can get in a bank today? Anybody?
1.5%.
1.5%.
That was that.
Okay, so real estate is where 90% of the millionaires made it in real estate. And we got to be excited about that. Let people get excited about that. Now, so you can see all of these. There's 11plex sold. And there's a lady just down here. She was so excited just the other day. I guess I can't find her here. Oh, I thought I had her here. Here she is. Irene, DeLorraine. She says, Gary, if I was there, I'd give you the biggest hug you ever had. She just collected a check for $135,000 marketing a property. She would have never done it if she hadn't been able to do it with exclusive. All of these were with exclusive information that is not on the Toronto Real Estate Board. And every one of you should have 15 opportunities on the internet working for you, not just 1 or 2. In this room, is there anybody that has more than 5 listings on the Toronto Real Estate Board? 4, 3, 2. I got 1 with 2. 1. Everyone else is basically out of business. Am I right or wrong? Okay. If you don't have a listing, you're trying to get listings. You're trying to get back in business. Without a listing, what have you got? I know everybody works with a few buyers. I know that. I'm talking about listings, control the market. Well, the beauty of the real estate board, if you get a signed listing, they put it on the internet where there's 4 million people. But if you don't have any listings, you got nothing working for you. I'm letting you know, every single one of you should have 15 opportunities, haves and wants. If somebody says, I want to sell my condo, but I don't want to give you a listing, but I'll pay you a commission, you can work that kind of information on here. And there's 3 special questions, which I'm going to be covering now within about 6 minutes from now, that's going to show you how to handle information in the business compliant with RICO. Let's move on. You can read about all these other deals going on at another time. Okay, let's just keep going here. Oh yes, how to add, modify. There's really only 2 things you do once you know what's going on. What we're doing here today is just a one-time setup, because then once you're a member, the only things you're going to do is you're going to go to ICIWorld.com and you're going to search from time to time. You can search from time to time on your phone. You can do it on a computer. You can do it on your iPad, on a netbook. You can do it on anything. Commercial, business, residential. Make a connection, go show the property and make some money. The only other thing you're going to do, you're going to go to member login and you're going to click on this button here that says add have one. And I'm going to go ahead and click on add, and I'm going to log in here. I'll log in as me. And then you're going to click on the add have one. And then if you have a property, you can say coming for sale, Mississauga, condo, approximately, how much was it? 1.35 or something? Who had the condo in Mississauga?
1.4.
How much?
1.4.
1.4. And you have to say approximately, because until you get the listing, it could change, right? And then you could say spectacular view. And that's it. You don't have to say more than that. It's like classified ads in a newspaper. It's not MLS. It doesn't have lot sizes, legal descriptions, names of the owners. You can't write an offer from anything on ICIWorld. It's just to trigger a lead. And guess what? You don't get many calls, but when you get them, they're usually pretty good. The reason why? They're well qualified. They know the area, they know the type of property, and they know the price range. So if they call you, they actually just qualified themselves. You don't have to try to dig in right away to try to qualify them and scare them away.
I have
Then
a
you-
question. What's the difference between ILS and IC?
Okay, what you're gonna find, and I'm so glad you asked me that, and that is a tricky thing for people to understand in the beginning. I'm gonna go to ils.realestate. And on the front page, partway down the page, you're gonna see a list. Where the heck is it? Wait a minute, let's go back to the home page here. Okay, hang on. There they are. Right here, you're gonna see a number of different websites. We actually have 100 domain names. Every one is gonna have a website. Right now, 20 of them have a website. But they're all powered by ICIWorld. In other words, the search database engine is the same on this website as all the websites. Each one is being tailored with different keywords and meta tags. ICIWorld, everybody thought we're strictly commercial. So now we've got this name, ils.realestate, so people know that we do residential, all kinds of real estate. And then we have different websites for different parts of the world. It's all to trigger leads for each and every one of you. All the reasons for all these different websites is to create traffic. I have a question for you. When Chanel comes to Toronto and they're promoting Chanel perfume, do they have one billboard or do they have 5 billboards?
Probably 5.
Yeah, 5. Why? Because it's more exposure. I'm suggesting to each and every one of you, you can all have more than one website. They're like billboards. If they're all automatic, if they're all working by themselves, and if they're all triggering leads, why not? Now, if they're not triggering leads, you feel like getting rid of the darn thing. It's like a waste of money, almost. Don't get rid of your website. Give us a chance to work with you to show you that website is an office building on the internet. It's just like this office building here, designed to bring people that are driving by, come here and maybe list their home with you. The website is your office building on the internet. Okay, so I hope that answers the question.
Thank you.
They're all little different reasons for each one, but they all connect to your stuff, every one of them. Okay? Let's continue. And thank you for asking that again. There's some things I forget to bring up. Okay, so that's how you come back here, and where were we adding the listing here? I think I had it over here. Yep, we're adding the listing. Click on Ontario. I'm just going to say no. I actually should have said yes. Greater Toronto. Click on Mississauga down here. And then the categories, there's all the various categories. We're going to choose residential estates. And then you just put it in here. It's a condo type, Mississauga. And it was 1,400,000. And then usually what we do is we copy everything in the subject line, copy that, and paste it down here in the comments area. And we do one more thing, and I have a statement that 90% of the brokers on the internet are missing the boat on the internet, because what you're doing is throwing properties on the internet with no due regard to the location. So we have a special button that comes up here where you can actually put in a special website for every property that you have. Invest in Mississauga.ca, and I'm going to show you what that website does. And then we're going to say here all about Mississauga. And the reason we do that is because we have people coming in here on this site from 138 countries on a regular basis. So we put that link in there for Mississauga, But we will also put the link in there for Toronto because most of the people, a lot of times they're going to work in Toronto, and we add that link in there.
Can it be a landing page on Facebook?
Yes, it can.
Because there you
Yep.
captured all the information.
You can do all that kind of stuff, and good thinking. And not too many people are doing it yet. I'd love to help you set that up to do that. Good idea. Excellent idea. I like all that cross links. All of these things are ideas to help make you really take advantage of the internet. Now, control. People, guess what? Up until today, each of you has been restricted to just one item on that page. What is it? It's that one right there. That's your one way to make money right now. But as of today, you're no longer restricted. Look at all the other choices you now have to make money. I'm going to show you how to work it with 3 special questions in a moment. By the way, when we do the 3 special questions that come up on the screen, you should get your camera and take a picture of it because it can help you make money the rest of your life. If a regular client of yours says, yeah, I'd like to sell my property, you can choose regular client. You can choose exclusive. So those are all the other choices, and we can go through them at another time, what all those choices are. And then down at the bottom of the screen, it says here, will you allow your listings to be advertised on another broker's website? You can answer yes or you can answer no. If you answer yes, your listings will be on 2,000 other brokers' websites instantly. Isn't that great marketing exposure? Instantly. If another broker brings you a buyer, would you work with them? You should answer yes. Okay? And then when you add it, I'm going to go over here and show you some of the last listings that were just added. I'm going to click on Latest World Residential on the left. And I'm going to go and click on the very first one. And what is the date of the listing?
Today.
Today. The listings are coming in every day. You should be checking them. It's free for you to check. You don't have to be a member. And if you can connect with one of these people, bingo, you can go off and make some money. That's how that works. So there's only 2 things you do. You search from time to time, and then you add your listings here from time to time. You just put them in there.
Are you saying that there are listings coming onto this website that are not on MLS?
75% of the listings here are not on MLS.
Residential?
50% of the ones in residential are not on MLS. Okay, there's a stat up there on that top of that screen, way up there. I don't know if you can see it, right up there. Right up there, 75% are exclusive.
Yeah.
There's 30,000 contacts for listings here.
But is that only like during a certain window of time, or is this like?
Oh, no, for a year, no.
Okay, let's talk about that. That's another good question. Great questions here today, people. ICIWorld does not delete listings for 5 years. Neither does the Toronto Real Estate Board. They mark expireds. We have expireds. We have inactive. We have sold. It's the same as the Toronto Real Estate Board. But we leave them up there. People can see them. When you search on your mobile device, you have a choice. One of the choices on your mobile device, if I was to click on it right now, in fact, if you want, everybody can do it. Go ahead and search. I'm just going to choose commercial because it's handy. One of the questions on your screen, see if you can all find it, is have, want, age. Have, want, age. So we had some people were, you could call it criticism, that we had older listings on this service and they said, I don't want to deal with it. But they missed something. You see, we keep the older listings for a reason. But before I explain the older reason and why it's making so many people money, I want you to know one thing. You have the choice to choose how far back you wish to search. The default is how long? Who can tell me?
2 years.
Nope.
3 months.
Who said?
3 months.
Did you say 3?
3.
3 months is correct. Have a look on your phone. You see up here, the default, it says have, want, age. What does it say?
Less than 3 months.
Less than 3 months. That's the same as an MLS listing. In other words, all the listings that are displayed in the initial search as the default setting are less than 90 days old. You don't have to look at those other 30,000 listings. You don't have to look at them if you don't want to. But can I explain why they're there? May I? How many people here want to do commercial real estate? Okay, watch this. In commercial real estate, there is more networking going on than you can ever imagine. We had an $18 million quarry on here for 3 years. That broker up north would never have done that deal if we had just cut it off and deleted it after 3 months. So what we do is we leave the listings there. They're active, they're supposed to be active, and the brokers like yourself are supposed to update them. Do all brokers update their listings like they're supposed to? No. But instead of fining you or deleting your listings, we leave them there. We tell everybody else, if you don't want to look at them, just look at the ones less than 90 days old. If that's all you have time for, that's your inclination. You don't have to look at the older ones. Now, I'm going to talk about something else. A shopping center. I'm going to use a specific example. Let's say you're looking for a certain kind of shopping center, $3 million, around that price range, and you can't find one. Let's say you spotted one on the service that was 5 years old because you searched further back. And you call up the broker. First of all, is that building still there? The building is still there. And as long as the real estate broker or salesperson hasn't died, the contacts for the people, it's still there. If that building sold, can it benefit you somehow value-wise to find out how much it sold for?
No.
Can it be helpful information? So even though you call them, it's not for sale, you find out how much it sold, it can still be beneficial. So the phone call is already beneficial, even though it's 5 years old. Secondly, is it possible that that building can be coming back for sale again? How would you find out? You got to call them.
Call the owners.
The contacts are here. The contacts are there. For all these people, that person that deals in a certain price range, they're still dealing with those people. They still have those relationships. Thirdly, is it possible that if that building is not available, that he knows about other buildings that are available? What do we call that? Networking. And fourthly, if you develop a good business relationship with that other broker, is it possible 3 weeks from now, he finds exactly what you're looking for, gives you a call, and bingo, the two of you go off and do a deal? Is that possible? Yeah. That's the reason for the older listings. You don't have to look at them if you don't want to. We did a survey. 50% of the deals that were done on listings that were over 90 days old. Isn't that interesting? Somebody called on one thing, it didn't suit them, they discussed something else not on the service, they went off and did a deal. The residential people, I have a message for you. Don't just call them and say, is it no longer available? Oh, darn, and hang up and that's it. Do a little networking. That one little extra question can make a big difference in the world. Because somebody's working a certain market, a farm area for homes, maybe they know about one coming for sale that they haven't told you about. And maybe they were ready to tell you about it, but they didn't. Talk to them, get them to open up a little bit. Say, boy, I would love to work with you in
Is
that
there
area.
an IDX tie-in then for properties that have actually sold?
Pardon me?
Is there an IDX tie-in for properties that have actually sold?
We have, there is in fact, when you sell a listing, you should mark it sold.
Okay.
And here, I'll show you how you're done. You just come up and you see the status. Those are the statuses that we have: active, expired, inactive, leased, and sold. You should mark them sold. But we don't put prices on anything. We're not like a real estate board. We've never, ever wanted to be like an MLS. We've already got MLS. Why should we duplicate it? I wanted it to fill in the gap in the marketplace that MLS is not doing. That's the big deal going on here. And that's why we're doing these seminars, because today you're asking great questions. You're learning about a new information service for the first time in a lot of cases, right? Question, go ahead.
The place will show the sold price.
No,
No, not the
no.
price.
If you want to know the price, you call the other broker. Okay? Establish your relationship with him and then go from there. And maybe you can follow up from it from there.
Maybe
Okay.
you can find from
I'm sorry?
maybe you can find from Julia.
Share warehouse.
Yeah.
Share warehouse.
Gary, you can also, there's a for sale by owner section there too. Did you mention that?
Oh, we haven't gone through that yet, but maybe we will if we get to it. Okay, I want to get going here. I'm trying to finish within the next, let me see, we started at 1:15? 3:15. Are we okay for another 20 minutes? 20 minutes, okay, and I'll have you out of here, all right? All right.
Need some pizza.
So what does that mean? It means that if you want people to see your information, you got to keep your information up to date, less than 90 days old. Now we're going to be covering to the main part of today's session. There's the one-on-one workshops there to help get going, and there's some of our training. We have videos for you, and there's our pledge as well. Let's move on. There's the statistics of people that are using the internet, and everything is going mobile. You've got to be mobile. Like you are today, you've all got mobile phones. My congratulations to every one of you to be able to do what you did today. A little while ago, we weren't able to do it. There's the
That's the
stats.
real number, right? Virtual.
These are numbers that are happening right this second.
When you are a member of ICI, can you have it on all your platforms?
Absolutely.
At
You
the
bet.
same time?
Yes, sir. Yep, you definitely can. I'm just gonna close that. Let's move on.
Just like you're working the day.
Now, this other part here, when I do seminars at real estate boards, there's no selling involved. I hardly mention ICIWorld. I cover a lot of other issues. Some of them are on the screen right there. I don't really have enough time to go through them all, but that Evernote program, these are apps for your phone. And without that app, I don't think I'd be able to build this service the way I have today without it. Evernote keeps track of everything that you can pass through your brain, every single thing. These are the apps that you can have on your phone that a lot of people are using on a full-time basis. Evernote is one of the most used apps in the world by all kinds of people, Fortune 1000 companies, you name it. You can send images, you can send emails to it, just all kinds of things it'll keep track of, and you can do keyword searches for anything you want. So anything I want to search, I can search in Evernote. By the way, does anybody have trouble keeping track of all their passwords? Okay, I'm using KeePass. Doesn't matter which password program you use something to keep track of your passwords. But the main thing is you got to remember the password to get into your password program. You forget that and you're up the creek without a paddle, boy.
Yeah, but it also doesn't work when you have 3 passwords.
And you got 3, you know.
It doesn't work on MLS. It doesn't work on MLS. 3 passwords. Right?
Yeah.
Your ID, your
I use that program called KeePass.info.
and
Password keeper.
Yeah, the password keeper here in this case is KeePass.info. That's the one that I use.
Yeah.
The reason I like it, I can pull up my passwords on my mobile device, on any mobile device, just like what you were saying. I can get my passwords. I got like about 250 passwords. And I don't make them all the same because you know, they can be encrypted. And personally, I don't have one bank password on anything, including that program. Okay? When it comes to the bank, 0. It's not going to go any place near a computer.
What you forget.
If I forget, I'll call EasyLine. And I have forgotten. I call them. Okay? Don't put any bank passwords on anything, because as far as I'm concerned, anybody can get into all your computers. Okay? Just think of it that way.
Makes sense.
I know people do their banking and stuff like that. Do what you want, but I'm extra safe. Okay, all right, now,
Depends how much money you have there, so.
that's true. That's true. You're right. And in fact, I have some credit cards that I use for the internet. I got a $500 limit.
That's good, yeah.
Okay? If anything gets misused, the most I could lose is $500.
Pretty low, that's.
Don't keep your express cards and stuff like that, and be careful. Just be careful, okay, what's happening on the internet. And I have a whole one-day program all about security on the internet. Can you believe that? A whole one-day program. Just about security on the internet. It's terrible what's going on. Over $1 billion has been taken out of people's pockets in North America.
They're milling it.
And I have a question for you.
But it's ID.
Those people that are taking money surreptitiously, fraud and everything, Are those people going away?
No, they-
No.
But they come back.
Are those people getting smarter and sharper?
yeah.
Yeah. And they're trying to trick you even more than before.
One of the reasons why the security in the US is so bad is that they limit you to 4-digit passwords.
Well, there
I
you
didn't
go.
find that out until I was going across the border. I went to take out money. My password was about 11 characters. Couldn't get into my bank.
That was fun to you.
Well, no, I couldn't get into the bank. And then I called Royal Bank and they said, oh, when you're in the US, you're only allowed 4 characters. If you're traveling, when you get across the border, airport, make sure that you have a password that's 4 characters or less.
There you go.
Otherwise, you can't get into it.
There's all kinds of things going on.
Yeah.
That-
There's
Okay.
a reason for it.
but
They are the thief. You see.
Well, no, the reason is that they have what you call an arcade
They
system.
wanted you to have only 4, so the camera on your,
No, but some people, if you put 10 passwords.
Okay, guys.
doesn't matter.
I love the conversation. We've got to move on. Everybody's got to get going. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, another one more thing. Very important for every single person here.
Yeah.
How many people in this room are in trouble if your computer crashed, if your hard drive fried, if your computer got stolen, or it no longer works? How many people are in trouble in this room? Okay, we got a few.
Back it up.
Back it up.
It's not even a backup. It's something I think better than a backup. Now, what am I using? I'm using this program here
Cloud.
called Dropbox.
Use the cloud.
If this, we're gonna come to that. I'm gonna ask you which cloud in a minute. Okay, I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys can think faster than I can talk. I love it. I like it. But if I took this computer here and it crashed on the floor and it didn't work, who's got a laptop handy right now? Anybody? Who's the closest person with a laptop? You got a laptop? And you're, okay, you could get your laptop.
Yeah.
I could set it up here. I could log into my Dropbox.
You got everything.
And I got everything that's on this computer that's in Dropbox.
So it costs you.
I have,
Okay, so I'm letting you know, that's what I do. It's an exact duplicate. As I change something here, it automatically changes there. Now, what else can, this is almost like the cloud when you think about it. Who else uses something like that? Anybody? I'm gonna ask you first because you mentioned it first and then to you next. Which cloud do you use?
I use OneDrive, Dropbox, and I have more than one account.
Okay,
I have
but,
like 4 different emails.
okay, very good.
I use iCloud.
iCloud, who uses iCloud? Everybody's got iCloud on their
Yes.
computer.
Yes.
All you have to do is iCloud becomes a directory. Any file that you save, a PDF file, an Excel file, a Word file, save your files in the iCloud directory, not your programs. Your programs are running under the programs where programs run. You can always reinstall your programs. You don't save those programs on the iCloud. You only save your data on the iCloud. Got that? In your iCloud directory. There's iCloud, there's all kinds of clouds out there, all different kinds. Use the one that's comfortable for you. I suggest if you have someone that helps you, use the one that the person that helps you, use that one, and that way they can help you with it. Okay, I'm not gonna go into the rest of these because we're running a little bit late and I wanna move on. Realtor.ca, how would you like, by the way, everybody knows Realtor.ca, right? Homes near me, you can be driving around, your customers are driving around on a Sunday afternoon, looking at open houses, they click on homes near me, and what happens? It brings up the homes across the street, they can see the price, but they can also see the other realtor. And now, are they gonna call you or are they gonna call the other realtor? Well, if it's your own family, your own customers, they're gonna call you. But if it's somebody else, wouldn't it be nice if your website could do exactly the same as Realtor.ca? They go to your website. Watch this. Hang on. And then they do a search They're in their car, they're doing this on their cell phones, driving around on a Sunday afternoon, and they click on search, and then there's a little geolocator comes up that says show your location. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to say yes. Okay, click on it. It's still going around and around, chugging away. The point is, it's going to show all the homes. Now, this is where we are right now. I'm going to click on this one here. Where is Mindermoya? How do you say that? Isn't that right near here? Mindermoya Road? Is that right near, just around the corner? Okay, so I'm driving around.
This is just an income feature, right? Like this is
Now,
an income website?
Isn't this wonderful? Wouldn't you like to have a website? By the way, we have a deal that I have negotiated on behalf of all our members. Normally, it's $50 a month approximately to get this website here called, it's from Income. Anybody ever heard of Income Real Estate?
I have income.
Oh, you have Income. So you've got this now and you might not be using it. You might not be using it, and I'm going to show you how to use it. You get your customers to put this on their phone and show them how they can be driving around. If you want to see the home around the corner, just click on your website, homes near me, and bingo, these homes are going to come up. You've got it. People have got all this technology and you're not using it yet. It's powerful, good stuff. It's exciting when you think about it. And your name's going to be here. So they're going to call you. Now, I've negotiated a deal. If you want to know the price, I got a special page back there someplace. Anyways, it's $34.95 a month and $125 one-time sign up for Income if you use the ICIWorld code. And there is a sheet back there. Is anybody perhaps potentially interested in it? Just let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Okay. There's this sheet here. I've got another sheet here, but it's one of these kind of sheets anyways. If you're interested in it, I'll give it to you. So we have two websites. The one that is $16.50 a month, but that one doesn't do this. Homes near me. This one also has solds on it. People can look up solds, and it also has VOW listings. Does anybody know what that is?
Wow.
Right. Those are listings that other brokers don't want to be shared on your website, but if people log into your website, they don't mind showing it to them. So there's a lot more access to listings through this website than regular websites.
Yeah.
And they're also making connections with other real estate boards. Go ahead, Doris.
You can even get free listings, so right across the middle.
Okay,
So this website will do what the other one does as well, in addition to this.
that's correct. Okay,
Excuse me.
all right, now, yes, sir?
Is it possible to do redlining? I understand that. when people
Yes, you can
drive
grab a whole area
around,
and grab it around, all the homes in that area. The answer is correct.
Okay.
You absolutely are right. You're right about that. Good point. I just want to move on here. The main thing today is I want to cover some of these major things that are being done, and then you can always follow up on it at a later time. There's the 4 million people. There's some of the other apps that are really good. They're all in your PowerPoint presentation. You can review them later. Top commercial apps. I'm not going to go through them. There's some of our, Doris, do you want to say a few words right now? Doris is one of our instructors, and Doris is also instructor with Floyd Wickman, also works with Ferry and others. Dynamic lady, big heart for everybody in this room to help us, really. She really has. Go ahead, Doris.
Thank you, Gary. I'm a realtor as well, and I've used the ICIWorld. I've been a member for over 20 years. And I use it for lead generating, for uploading. I work a lot with for sale by owners, so like physical specialists. So if you work with for sale by owners, it's a great place to, network some of the listings on ICIWorld. But I found it as a great lead generating for the price you can't beat it. And if anybody's interested, I do also Floyd Wickman training workshop. So I'll talk to your brokers to see if I could do a complimentary workshop.
I like the Floyd Wickman program. They have a unique follow-up on everything that you do so that it tracks successes and non-successes and then fixes them where it needs to be improved. Let's move on. There's some information on myself. I never did cover it until just now. Probably should have done it in the beginning. I've been a broker since 1974, so I'm getting close to being as old as some of you in the room. CCIMs, Certified Commercial Investment Member. We're suggesting, I'd like to invite you all to come out to the meetings. You can mark this down on your pad of paper. Find my page there. I don't know what page I'm on in your thing there, but mark it down, ccimcanada.com, and you can find when the next meetings are. ccim.com. You could just mark it down on the front page. And ccimcanada.com, come on out to the meetings. You can learn how to paint a picture of how real estate makes money, so when they leave you, they'll keep that picture with them for that investment. It covers the before and after tax consequences of investing in any income producing real estate, and it'll take the mystery out of commercial real estate for everyone. CCIM.com is where you get the educational courses. I'm recommending everyone take the CI 101 program. Everybody in this room should consider taking CI 101. It will even help you on your own account to analyze real estate, to invest in real estate. The LinkedIn profiles, we suggest you put that all on your own website. Let people know you belong to the Canadian Real Estate Association, Ontario Real Estate Association, Toronto Real Estate Board, all the organizations you belong to. You should put that all on your website, because sometimes people in other countries, they don't have all of these organizations. But there's an element of trust. There's a following a code of ethics that goes on for all of this. You should even put on your website, why use a realtor? It's a link that's already made for you. You can just put it right on your website. The Facebook social media, when they see you put your websites on some of these places and they see you got buyers and sellers, exclusive listings, all that kind of stuff on your website, they're going to say, bye, you're really well connected. And they're going to appreciate that as you go along. We recommend everyone consider getting the CIPS. You're going to study the cultures of all the different people immigrating to Canada, so you can understand them a little bit better. And it's also great for doing referrals worldwide. And that's put on by the REIC, the Real Estate Institute of Canada. The CCIM courses have been put on by the Ontario Real Estate Association. And this service started out at the Toronto Real Estate Board doing have and want marketing sessions, just like this, right in the auditorium. Somebody would stand up and say, you know, I've got a buyer for this kind of property. I got a seller for this kind of property. I was writing down feverishly and I couldn't keep track of them all. And 2 weeks later, a lawyer I was talking to said that they had a $3 million shopping center, and there was somebody in the class that had a buyer, and I couldn't figure out who it was. I never did figure out who it was. I said, this has got to stop. Everybody's missing opportunities to do deals because we can't keep track of everybody's opportunities. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's all here. One world real estate database for everyone in the world. Been going for 24 years, and it's generating leads and deals for people just as smooth as a baby's bum, and it's wonderful to see. Let's move on. The highest return of any investment is on the internet, because one lead can make you a lot of money. And we've already gone over a lot of the testimonials. I've covered them. Everybody's from all companies are doing deals here. This is an important figure down here. 9% of the FSBOs in the world sold, but 91% of them sold with a realtor. So even though you see all those for sale by owners, 90% of them are selling with realtors. Now, how can you do it? Well, we're going to come up to how to do it. And as a quick overview of ICIWorld, less than 30 seconds, 30,000 haves and wants, 75% are exclusive. We're doing it all, commercial, residential, properties coming for sale, FSBOs, assignments, you name it.
Canadian, is it 30,000?
No. It includes United States and the rest of the world as well, but the majority are Canada. I would say over 85% are Canadian. Two databases. We also have a public FSBO database. And you say, oh, what's that all about? Well, when you come to our main website, you'll notice when you do a search and click on search, that the fourth one that you can search is something special called FSBOs. When you click on FSBOs, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose Mississauga, which is already chosen. Let me change it to 100 here. These have been placed by the public. Interesting, eh? Maybe for the people further on down, I can make it a little bigger. These have been placed by the public, absolutely free. However, Who are the only people that can click on the message numbers for those? The members. Got it? Okay. So there's FSBOs here as well. Let's continue on. Now we're going to come to the part where you can take a picture with your camera here in a sec. The power of ICIWorld. 20,000 subscribers receive the listings. Your listings are on 1,500 other brokers' websites. And we actually have over 18,000 pages on the internet displaying information. So it's really penetrated the internet big time. And now there's seminars we've done at the Mississauga Real Estate Board, Brampton Board, Toronto, Oshawa, Hamilton. We're just doing them all over seminars. Let's move on. Oh, there's our booth at the Toronto Realtor Quest. And we're also on the front page of all these trade publications. We spend thousands of dollars there, people. If one person visits our website on the front page, they see that and they visit and see your listing, they give you a call and you go off and make $5,000. It's because we've been spending money on all these other places to drive traffic to your website. That's one of our #1 goals. Search engines, you name it. Now, here we go. Exclusive information that can give you extra opportunities to make money that you never had before today. This is what I'm really excited about. I see so many deals being done. It's just great. How to work exclusive information. We're now going to follow that, and you must follow the RICO guidelines. It started from a book by Bill Gates. It was called Business at the Speed of Thought. If you can take a thought out of your brain and put it on the internet where everybody can say it, you can maybe do some business. Before you get a listing and you're driving to the customer's house, it's just a thought in your mind that you're getting a listing. You have a thought that you might be getting a listing coming for sale in Mississauga or something. Those are just thoughts. That's what this service is all about. Yes, you can advertise your real estate board listings, but it's the thought that opens up the whole market for you. And we're going to show you how to handle that. But Bill said this to Warren Buffett. This was in the early 90s, that the cost to publish your information and getting your message in front of someone, talking with people all around the world, which we have people from 138 countries coming in regularly, is literally zero. What you're doing today is almost zero or so close to zero, it doesn't make any difference. And with our corporate cards, it's like zero if you use it. It's an information listing service. And we have 4 webinars daily, which can go over this. If you haven't grasped everything today, and a lot of people don't get everything on the first session here, we've got other ways that you can review it. You can work all of this kind of stuff on ICIWorld. All of the FSBOs in this area, all of the properties in Kijiji, they should be on ICIWorld through you, the members. So, has anyone ever said to you, I want to sell my property, but I do not want to give you a listing at this time? But if you bring me a buyer, I will pay you a commission. You can get your cameras out, take a picture of that right there. This is the climax, the head title of our seminars, a reason for coming here, and the way to make some of the most money. You got brokers making hundreds of thousands of dollars. The brokers that sold and have made over $1 million on ICIWorld. This is what we go by. The first question says, will you pay me a commission? So if somebody says, I want to sell my property, but I don't want to give you a listing, but I will pay you a commission, you ask the first question, what is it? Somebody say it out loud.
Negotiate.
Will you pay me a commission? Is that the first question?
Also ask, can I advertise your property without disclosing the address? You got to have it in writing that he's going to pay.
Hang on one second. I'm talking about somebody who just said, I don't want to give you a listing.
Oh,
Yeah.
By the way, if you get the listing, you don't need this.
Right.
If you get the listing,
Yeah,
you
right.
do not need this,
Yeah.
people.
So you ask if I bring you a buyer.
if I bring your buyer.
If I bring you a buyer. We've had some people, let's go through the next 2 questions. I'm going to show you how people made money and some people didn't make money, just on how you asked the question. Any problems with the first question? Nobody ever has. The second question, will you give me a 48-hour exclusive listing to show your property once I have a buyer? So you're getting a verbal agreement ahead of time.
Well, I usually say to them, will you work with me?
That's the same thing.
If I bring your buyer.
That's the same thing. Okay? You can use that. You can use that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, okay.
But it should be.
Any problems
it should
with
be
that
in writing
question?
then.
Anybody?
Should be in writing then, right?
That's,
That's number
it's telling them ahead of time that
Yeah.
once you get a buyer, you need it in writing. You're getting a verbal agreement,
We gotta get a, you know,
okay? You're absolutely right. And the third question is, you're gonna ask them for permission to advertise their property, but you're gonna do it without the address. If it's a restaurant owner, does he want his restaurant plastered all over the internet that it's for sale?
No,
Why not?
those are business.
Could be bad for business. And also, RICO. Because according to RICO, a registrant shall not include anything in an advertisement that could reasonably be used to identify, that's the key word, specific real estate, unless the owner of real estate has consented in writing. You got a lot of legal things to remember. This is just one thing. And if you know this, you have a chance to make more money this year than you ever thought of. And it can happen. And it can happen so quickly to some people. If you know there's somebody that, is there anybody that dropped your kids off at daycare here? Nobody's using daycare? Theoretically, if you were, and you knew there was a buyer for a daycare center, you could ask the daycare owner, if I could get you the price you wanted for your daycare, would you consider selling? You can start doing all that now. Now, I have a question. We've had some people that didn't make money on this service. And it took us 1 year to figure out the reason why. 1 year. The broker called me up, says, Gary, you said 90 days everybody should be making connections to make money, and I haven't made any money, and I'm wondering what's wrong. I says, do you have any listings? He said, I got lots of listings. So I went, I looked, he's got lots of listings. And I said, well, I said, what's going on? And I looked, I said, tell me, when people call you, do they ask you for the address? He said, yeah. I said, do you give it to them? He said, yeah. What's wrong with that? Everybody's going behind his back.
Yeah.
They're going direct.
Oh, yeah.
And then he talks to the owner later, and the owner says, oh, I sold it myself.
Yep.
I didn't sell it himself. It was his buyer that he generated. This is a workshop for all of you. You got to be careful with your information. Your information is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Lawyers have confidential information. Doctors have confidential information. What's the first question? If somebody says, I don't want to sell my property, but I'll pay you a commission, what's the first question you ask?
Why are you moving?
The first question that we're teaching today.
What's the date?
Anybody, look on your cameras. Open your cameras. You got a picture of it?
Are you willing to work?
You mean after you've asked them if you bring them a buyer, will they give you a commission?
Well, you give me 48 hours.
That's the second question.
That's the second.
If the question is, will you give me 48 hours? My answer is no. He just asked me,
Okay.
will I give him a 48-hour exclusive? I just said, no, I don't want to give you
Will
this.
you work with me if I bring a buyer?
If you bring a buyer out, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Let's go back here. It took us 1 year to find out why some people weren't making money, because they were only asking, they weren't asking this red part. They weren't asking this red part. Well, you pay me a commission. They figure you're going for a listing right now. They figure you're going for a listing right now. This is more sophisticated than that. If once I have a buyer, they're going to love you. You know why they're going to like you coming in for the first time on a FSBO? Because you're not hitting them for a listing on the spot. You're not saying, I've got the biggest and best, I got a listing presentation. None of that stuff. Once I have a buyer, different story. Okay? And to really get things rolling,
Can you get the buyer from ICC?
Can you get the what?
From your website, you can get buyers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's public information. People go there all the time. What's the third question?
What commission you go to?
What's that?
What commission, how much?
You can negotiate the commission. That's part of question number one.
May I advertise if I don't use the address?
May I advertise and I'm not going to use the address? That's right. And the reason you don't use the address, you don't want people going behind your back. And
Rico.
Rico. Okay, you got it?
But what if he asks you why you're not gonna use the address? Because he wants his.
Well, it's actually, you can tell them, you know, it's part of our real estate requirements that we have to have a signed listing in order to give an address.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna give you all a test. Are you ready? I'm already testing you a little bit. The reason I'm doing it this way with the screen off is to really get you to think about this, okay? I've gone for a whole year and some people didn't grasp, didn't get it, like some others got it, they made a lot of money. Now, when somebody asks you for the address, you make this statement. In this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if it's okay with you, come to my office on Saturday, I'll make arrangements for you to see it. You know when you got the pictures done?
Yeah.
I'm done. Got it? One more picture, two more pictures, go ahead. Okay. Coming for sale. This is the one, you had the property coming for sale, or somebody did? If you have a property coming for sale, people call you on the phone, you make a statement. In this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if it's okay with you, I'll put you on a list. And then once I get the agreement signed, I'll call you back. And if you're still looking, I'll make an appointment for you to see it. Isn't that wonderful? You can be advertising stuff now. Let's move on. Mississauga restaurant, $350,000, making money. Does that give it away? Do you know which restaurant that is? If I said it's at the corner of Huron, Ontario and Dundas Street, does it give it away? There's three answers here, by the way. One is yes, one is no, one is I don't know, and I'd like to hear from you. Does that give it away if I said it is at the corner of Huron, Ontario and Dundas Street?
Yes.
Maybe, I got a maybe, maybe. How many people say yes? How many, I got 3, 4. How many people say no?
Yes.
How many don't know?
Depends on how
Okay,
many
the
other
yeses,
restaurants
the
are.
yeses have it, right, and the yeses have it.
That's
Because
specific.
the corners, there's
Bottom
four
of-
corners.
Yeah, no, what if there's 3 restaurants there?
Yeah, I know.
Still, they have a.
How long does it take to go talk to 3 owners of 3 restaurants?
Exactly.
They won't
So
say.
in other words, inside of 30 minutes, you can find out which one it is.
They say, oh, I don't.
If the commission is 10% and they are on businesses, $35,000 to put your kids through school and help you buy a car, pay off some mortgage, we can do a lot of good things. And if you just said, it's at the corner here and here and then that street, you just gave it away. It's like a bird flying away with your money. Your tongue, one developer took a broker out for lunch. He told me this story. He had a piece of development land and he didn't tell him where it was. Anyways, he took him out for lunch and he got the wine on the table and really whining and dining. And near the end, he's feeling really happy. So you can tell me, I'm a friend of yours, where approximately where it is. And he told him. The broker figures he saved $100,000 in commission by taking him out for that $200. Yeah. It's information. The movie stars that have properties in Lake Tahoe, you can go skiing in one day and go swimming on the same day. They're selling properties like this, how I'm telling you right now. Confidential. They don't mind releasing the inside of their home and they can see the Van Gogh paintings and all the everything, but only to someone who's qualified. They don't want to just put it out there for me, sort of Tom, Dick, and Harry on the internet. Second question, Toronto triplex, does that give it away?
Yeah.
No.
If I said it's the corner of Ossington and Bloor next to the Pizza,
Yes.
does it give it away?
Yes, yes.
I'm doing an easy one now because I'm coming a little harder in a second. Let's go to the next one. Lindsay Esso gas station. How many people say it gives it away? How many?
Because I've been there.
3, 4. How many people say no, it does not give it away? And how many people don't know? The ones that didn't put up hand don't know. Why does he give it away?
It's Lindsay, that's what gas station.
Oh, okay.
There's only one.
Lindsay is-
There's only one.
There's only one. Coming from the college, there's only one.
There's only one.
I stop there all the time, like,
Okay.
hey, Morton.
So you can see that we're getting
You
you.
don't need, you won't need elsewhere there, you know?
Okay, now, how would you market that? What you would say is branded gas station, 1 hour or 90 minutes to Toronto. Okay, you got it? Go to the next one. Brantford, $30 million shopping center. How many gives it
Oh,
away?
God.
How many
One
say
shopping
no?
center.
How many say no? The yeses have it. Why?
There's only one shopping center.
There's only one shopping center that expensive than Brantford.
Be there. My Buffalo.
Okay? How would you say that? Well, you just might say $30 million shopping center, Canada, or maybe Ontario.
Greater Horseshoe area.
I wouldn't even say that.
Nope.
I wouldn't even, there's limited number. Anytime you get something over 5 or 10 million, up to $100 million, I would not say that. I wouldn't say anything, zero. Just what it is and a price, that's it. Just from experience, okay? Because I've been doing this now for over 20 years, helping brokers make money, and how many brokers have been burnt by some other brokers going behind their back in this room?
Very few.
Okay? A lot of brokers have, you know. Okay, Peterborough Plaza, I think that's okay. Do you agree? That's okay. I don't think you're giving away anything there.
Well,
Okay.
500,000, you can't buy much.
All right. We've already shown you the widgets on your website. I don't have to go over that. And I'm just gonna go here, widgets. We support all websites. You can have more than one website. I've shown you how to promote your website. Go click on seminar on the main website and get $100. Knowing our pledge, it's on the internet. We pledge it, never go longer than 90 days without making connections. But right now, people, if you don't mind, take 1 minute in consideration of me coming here today. Do you mind filling out this evaluation form? And on our seminar, I need your feedback. I really appreciate your feedback in consideration of me coming here today. Takes about 1 minute just to fill this out. So Doris, can you help make sure everybody got one? Thank you so much for helping with that, appreciate it. Just take 1 moment, 1 minute, and fill that out.
It's 8, right?
An extra pen on here? No. Gary, can I borrow your pen?
Yes, sir. No, I've got it in my.
Oh, wait. There you go, one. Thank you.
I got more pens. Thank you so much for filling that out. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you for coming.
No, I'm doing something else.
His name. His name.
No, it used to belong to NASCAR Real Estate, right? Used to own it.
Boy, oh boy, that's going back many years ago.
That's when I was first of real estate in 1981.
Yeah.
Yeah. NASCAR Real Estate. I remember that.
Yeah. I've also owned a Realty World franchise over the years. I've managed Royal Trust before they got bought out by Royal Page.
That's back at the one on Western Road.
No, it was in
I met him like
another area.
Do you want to be?
Yeah.
Oh, Gary? You have a different here.
Just put his name on it? Where?
oh, I see. No,
Okay.
And then the
Okay,
last
so
thing,
thank you
anybody
very
that's,
much.
anyone that's
If you
interested
could
in
meet me
joining?
In person.
Oh.
Because, you know, I've heard your name so many times.
Okay,
Seen
so
you,
now you know.
Now I know who you
Now
are.
you're not joining today?
Not today, no, but I'm going away. soon,
Okay.
So I'll have to take care of that.
Okay.
Okay, see you then.
Isn't Richview Collegiate, Mr.
How many people here are interested in joining? Okay, we got some here.
Yes, but just not today.
Okay, if you want, you can come up here to the front and I can
bring
get you
my
started.
wallet with my cards and everything. So
That's fine.
I can do it right now.
And you can look at the.
Wait, so which one are we paying today? Is it $16.99?
Say that again.
Which one are we paying today?
The 240, I'll show you. Have you got your phone handy?
Can you change 240? I thought you said if you're as a group, more than one person,
That is actually the group rate.
$16.99?
Oh, for that, it's free, first of all, for the first month.
Mhm.
And then after 1 month, you have a choice to keep it for $19 a month or
this is different.
$199 for the year.
This is different.
Works out to $16.50 a month.
Are we talking about the
That's the website.
other website?
To join ICIWorld is this one right here, 240,
Mhm.
and you get 18 months today,
So how much is it?
271.20.
I thought you were saying that if it was a group, you can get.
You're gonna get 240 for 18 months today. That's the special. If you got your phone handy or cell phone, I'll show you.
Okay,
Bring your cell phone out.
okay, I'll give you that. Actually, can you do debit?
Yeah, I think you can. Bring your cell phone out, I'll show you.
What do you mean? No, I know, but can you do that? I'll do it. Because I know it's.
Go to NREILS.com.
No, I gotta get going.
Oh.
Either one of these.
Okay, this is,
I have to get.
hang on 1 second. Okay, that's your credit card right there.
Yeah, that's my credit card.
That'll work.
But
If you want, I can process that later if you don't want to do it now.
Can you process that later?
Yes,
Or if you
I
want
can
to,
process it
or you
later.
want to process this now?
I can either one. Is that a credit card?
Debit card.
Debit card.
You can't process the debit card.
I don't know, I'm just used to doing credit cards.
Okay, do the credit card then.
Okay, that I can do.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Because I'm supposed to be down in Islington and Eglinton, Freeder. Hello.
Hey, we do some.
Have you got your business card as well?
Yes.
Jay's keys, those are your keys?
It's Jay's piece.
Probably Jay's, all right.
$500. Yes. There you go.
Okay, good stuff. Hang on 1 second. Okay, you see right here, it says Canada 240 for 18 months.
Okay.
Got it. Unless you're already in our database, I should check.
No,
You don't think so? Okay.
probably am.
Uh,
Check and see.
Okay. I can check
But the
right
thing
here.
is,
Linton, Linton.
yeah. In there. In there.
Nope, I have a Dwayne Linton, but not there. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, What I'm gonna do is I'll take it off the screen because there'll be some credit card information going through. That's all right, we'll catch it. And I'll even stop this going through right now, leave the meeting and